Okay, hi guys, it's Meg from LovenStamps, and if you tuned in a second ago, then here we're gonna go this direction to get everything settled. But welcome to another LovenStamps studio tour. Today, we are going to talk about sponges, your Brayers, your Daubers, your sponge wedges, and all the different things that you can do to keep them organized and at your fingertips. So I'm gonna go ahead and tune you down here to my work area for a second, and all right, let's see. And then I'm gonna tune on here so that I can see what's going on. Let's see. All right. Okay, good deal. So here we have our sponging things. Sorry guys, this is not how I intended to do this morning. This way. Okay, so here we have our sponging things. We have our sponge daubers, which are great for small spaces and like really tight burnished color, really intense color. We have our sponges, which are good for more diffuse color, bigger areas, and I'm gonna give you a tip about those. And then we have our sponge brayers, and I'm gonna show you a project at the end, so you'll wanna stay tuned and see the project with the sponge brayers so that you can see those. All right, so let me talk a little bit about the wedges first of all. So these guys, if you haven't used them before, you should know that usually you don't use a whole sponge like this. So what I usually do is take my scissors and cut them into wedges, about like this, because this is plenty of sponge for inking up and then, oh my gosh, am I upside down for you guys? The best laid plans, right? Let's see if I can force it to switch. Is it right side up yet? Oh my goodness. I know you guys are excited to see sponging tips. I'm excited to share them. We'll get here eventually. Nope, it doesn't want me to rotate. I can't turn it while I'm recording. Okay, all right, so we'll just change plans and I'm going to scoot you over so that I can show and talk at the same time. That is messy. Okay, here we go. And I'll turn around this direction so that you guys are right side up, okay? All right, so back to our, oh my gosh. You think I hadn't done this like 10 times already. Back to our things. So sponge wedges. So usually what you wanna do is you want to go ahead and kind of flip these into smaller pieces so that you can get more out of your pieces. And let's see. Okay. So when you use sponges, they have this tendency to get ink all over your fingers. So there are a couple different tips that I have for that. One is really simple, just binder clips from the office supply store. All you have to do is grab these, stick them on, and use them. You can also use one of the label punches, one of the narrow ones, or cut little cardstock strips from those pieces that you have left over. And then go ahead and attach those. And I've just attached this with a mini brad. And the nice thing about this is that you can coordinate your cardstock color to the color of ink on the sponge. And then when you have a bunch of these put together, you'll always know what color sponge you want for the ink that you're gonna use, okay? All right, so that kind of covers us for our sponges to start here. And then the next thing is sponge daubers. And since we're talking about always having at your fingertips, what you want, my favorite tip for keeping these organized is to make little labels for these. And I showed, yesterday I think, I showed my label maker, which is nothing super special, anyone will do, but it makes these nice little plastic strip labels that then can be put onto my sponge dauber so I know what color this is, and it's really easy. Now sometimes I cheat and I might use this like for real red, but if I know I just used Poppy Parade yesterday, it's probably still pretty inky, and I'll want to make sure that I kind of stick with the same color or clean it out on my paper to get it clean enough to use for the next thing. All right, and then that brings us to sponge brayers. Now these come, if you haven't seen this page. They're on page 147 in the catalog, all the spongy things. And the Brayers actually come with 2 handles and 4 extra, or 4 rollers. So you have lots of pieces to use for these. And if you are having friends over to stamp or you're a demonstrator, my tip for this, if you have 2 different colors, which are going to be on the card that I'm going to show you here. If you have 2 different colors of Brayers on your table, just take a piece of Post-it note so that it's temporary and you can write the name of the Brayer color that you're using and put it right there in the handle. So a really quick way to do this. Oh, so Sue asked a question about sponges. Yes, sometimes I clean a sponge, but honestly, if I can get like easily 8 wedges out of one of these sponges, then I kind of keep one for blues and one for greens and one for pinks. And then I don't always worry too much about washing them. So yeah, and plus then if you have them labeled and you're using 2 colors on your project, then you'll know which one to pick up for the next color so that you're on top of that. All right, now, so all these things, right? You have all these things, they're bouncing around in a drawer or in a box or what? Where do you keep them? So this is why I wanted to be able to show you my space. We'll see what happens if I come up here for a second. So I keep them in the drawer. That is super handy, but I used to keep them in one of these IKEA boxes. So these are a really neat storage tool because you can go ahead and put kind of a lot of loose things in there. So all my sponging tools were in one drawer. There you can see them kind of popping up from here. And then I just made some cute labels to put on the front. Actually, my friend Becky made those labels a long time ago. So yeah, so this kind of box unit is a great thing to have, and you can put this on a bookshelf or something like that. It doesn't have to live on your counter. But I have a make your own storage tip for sponges. So I'm going to scoot you back down here towards the table. Let's see if I can get you in the same spot. Pretty close. Okay, so here is my make your own storage. Oh no, that's a little off. I promise I'll get this sorted out for tomorrow's tip. Okay, this way. Sorry guys, it's like left, right, like trying to do things in a mirror, like reading over your shoulder in a mirror or something. Okay, so here is the make your own storage tip. So this is a stamp case, okay, just one of the extras. You can get these from the Stampin' Up! Catalog. They're available as empty cases, and this is one of the thicker boxes, so they're about 1 inch tall. So how to make this cute little storage space. See all the little cardboards that are in there to sort and keep them all organized. What you're gonna do is grab your trimmer, and you are going to take, I just used a piece of the backing paper from the Designer Series paper, so nothing special. But I cut strips that were 2 inches wide, and then what I would do is go ahead and use the trimming or the scoring blade here, and there we go, scoring blade here, and set this up so that it's scoring at 1 inch, okay? And then I'm gonna fold this in half, all right? And you can measure, if you are a measuring person and you wanna grab your ruler and you wanna measure the width here. If you're not a measuring person, then here is my quick and easy solution. All you have to do is lay this in the box, okay? So I'll turn it around this way for you so you can see. Lay this in the box and look for where the box turns, the corner, okay? And then you're just gonna snip just the bottom of that tray. And then all you do is pull this around the corner and you can kind of squeeze there. And then I would go ahead and take my Seal Plus, which was here a moment ago. There we go. My Seal Plus, and this is nice and strong adhesive, so you're gonna go ahead and put this adhesive all along the bottom, just like this. And not only will that hold your angle together, like this at 90 degrees, but it will also give you a place that you can stick your divider down inside the box. So just like that, okay? So then that will stick down, and then you can take your second one, and this tray here in the middle is a U shape. So you're gonna score it in the middle, and then you're gonna trim here and here so that you have a U-shaped piece that fits in the box just like that. And then you have a nicely organized, divided 3-section sponge storage system. So you'll always be able to find what you're looking for, okay? All right, so I promised you guys a project on this, and here it is. It's a Halloween project. It uses the Coming Home stamp set and dies. And remember, I said that I always keep a rubber band around my bundles because that way I can find the dies that I'm looking for. So if you missed that tip, you'll want to go back and watch from the other day when we talked about stamps and stamp storage. All right, and then I have a piece of designer series paper. This is from the Magic in the Night paper, which you can see I have some scraps in there, and I've talked a little bit about storing scraps. But I love to make DSP card bases. If you haven't seen that before, you should definitely check them out. There's lots on my blog at LovenStamps.com. And so to start off with this card, I'm going to go ahead and score it at 5.5. The whole paper is cut to 4 inches by 12 inches. And then I'm going to score just the last inch here. Okay, because that last inch is going to fold around to strengthen this free edge of our card. And so here is our card base, okay? So where does the sponging come in? Here is my, let's get you a good view of that. Here's my finished card. And so you can see that the paper is black and white normally, but the color we're gonna add to the background helps it to kind of match the house and help it really pop out color-wise. So, set this up here. Okay, so Brayers. What I'm gonna do is take 2 colors of Brayer, or 2 colors of ink. I have Cajun Craze, and I have Pretty Peacock, and that card's gonna fall in there, I know it. And then I need my second sponge brayer, which I have here. And so I'm gonna start off by doing the Cajun Craze. So I'm just going to ink this here in Cajun Craze. And remember, when you're inking Brayers, you always want to roll one direction. So I'm doing this and picking it up. If you roll only like this, you're actually only inking like, you know, 1 inch of the Brayer. So then I'm just gonna take this and add some color in kind of random spaces, wherever. I'll fold this flat again. Kind of different directions of swatches. And this Magic in the Night paper is on the DSP sale that's going on through the end of October. So this is really gorgeous paper, whether you're using it for Halloween projects or not. But, all right, and then I'm gonna take my Pretty Peacock and I'm going to fill in around on all of those places here that are still showing with the white area. Okay, so this way the color is nice and subtle. It doesn't really jump out and it doesn't really distract from the image, but it really adds some extra nice quality to the image that's printed on the paper. And so there is our background, okay? And there is our finished card. We'll go this direction. All right, so I hope that you have learned some neat tips today about how to store your sponge pieces and so forth. Sorry for the technical crazies at the moment. I'll get those sorted out for tomorrow. And tomorrow we are going to talk about a new topic for storage, and I should start to write these things down. Let's see, so that I have them and I don't. Tomorrow's topic, tomorrow we're gonna talk about paper scraps and how to keep your paper scraps from taking over your space. Kind of like the plant from Little Shop of Horrors, you know, feed me Seymour, so that you don't have paper scrap everywhere. And I'm super in love with the way I keep my scraps and my details that way, because it's an efficient way to always have, you know, not a ton of mess, and to always have what you need when you need just a little scrap, so you're not always having to cut into a whole sheet of paper. So, all right, thank you guys for watching, and like, love, or share the video if you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow morning at 9:30. Be sure to leave a comment if you have something that you would like to see in a future video. So, bye guys, happy stamping.